This is a training video of the DBM 5000. This is one of 2 or maybe 3 videos we're going to be doing here, showing you size changing and all the different functions that the 5000 has. Now, what we're going to go ahead and start with is size change. Now, you have different programs in here. At any point, you can change to them. There's 12 different programs in here. We're going to go ahead and go back to number 6 here, and you can actually change it by pushing that button right there. This button will take you into this. Now you can just return back in case you hit the button by accident. You don't want to change that book size. You can go ahead and hit that button and it will return you back to the main menu. And as long as you don't go all the way to the end and hit the enter key, everything that you do, everything you choose will not be saved. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, you have on the top row here is stitch. Alright, you can have no stitch, in stitch, or saddle stitch. Alright, now on the bottom here is fold. You have fold and no fold. You can actually go with no fold and saddle stitch it, which I don't recommend you do, or you can go with in stitch and no fold, or straight through for just collating it into the catch tray. In this case, we're going to go with fold and saddle stitch. Hit the enter key. Alright, now you have trim or no trim. This is a face trim on the top here. As you can see, it shows a blade just trimming the edge of the book here. Alright, now you can select no trim. We want trim. This here shows 2 blades on each side, and this would be if you was trimming top and bottom and you had this unit, the 2-knife trimmer unit, in line with this system. That we do not, so as you can see, they're kind of fuzzed out. You couldn't select either one, but if you had it, you could choose it. Now we're going to go on to the next one, and this would be your actual sizes. Alright, you have 17 inches long by 11 inches wide, 8.5 going to your center stitch where it's actually going to staple. This here is 8.5 going to the edge of the fold. This here's the distance between your 2 staples, and because the 5000 runs down the center of the Bookletmaker and not from one side or the other, everything moves or calculates from the center on the stitches. If all your numbers are correct, in this case they are, for us, we would hit enter. But you could change it. 1, and you would come over to keypad 1, 0, 0, and hit enter, and that would change it. But if you don't hit the enter button and you just go on to the next one, it's going to change back to 17 inches long. And then you would have to hit it again and go for it. In this case, we want to go ahead and go push 850, enter. Notice it changed that to 8.50. This number here changed. It's now at 4 1/4. It's a preset size in there. It calculates where the staples should be. Now you can change that number for, maybe you want to do 2 up or 3 up in here, and you're going to add the extra staples later. Or if you have a 4 staple stitch head system, this would be a little bit different. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and let the machine itself choose the program. I'm going to go ahead and change this back to 11, 0, 0, and hit the enter button. See how it changed back? Same with the top here. If you change this number to any other number but 17, these numbers down here would change. It automatically determines where the center of the book should be, and half of 17 is 8.5. Now we're going to go ahead and advance forward. this would be your trim, what your face trim is going to be at for your finished size. So your finished length is going to be 8.38. Now you can change this number to meet maybe the edge of the book. Say you have lettering that's coming too close to the edge, or a picture coming too close to the edge and you don't want to trim it off, you want to leave a little bit of space there. You can do such. You can add a little extra. Or say you got too much white on the edge here and the front cover's blue and you want to get over a little bit more just to be able to trim it off to where it's blue all the way to the edge, you could do that. You could take off a little bit more. Now we recommend that you don't go no less than 1/8 of an inch and no more than 1.5 inches on your trim. 1.5 inches is kind of pushing it a little bit, but you can do up to 1.5 inches. Now we're going to go to the next one. Now this is your size coming in. That's what the book would be coming in, 17 by 11. And this is your finished size, the second row, 8.38 by 11. Now up top it says you have chosen saddle stitch, fold, and trim. Now if you look up here and this is not correct or this is not correct, you can actually go ahead and hit the return key and go back and put in the correct choice that you wanted. But if this is all correct, you would hit this enter key. By hitting the enter key, you lock it into that program. Now there's a few other functions that you're going to find. Now this here should be flashing if I had changed that size. I didn't change that size, but this would flash if when you first turn on your Bookletmaker, which makes it to where you could not run a collated set or a reset or anything with the collator until this button is hit first thing in the morning when you first power it on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit the button, and as you can see, everything's moving. Alright, your size change is done, just as quick as that. Now, after you're done setting your sizes, you will have to go into the adjustments right here. You have options as well, and you have accessories. In our next video, we're going to go over adjustments and show you how to do step mode. Step mode is for fine-tuning the edges around your book so that it's jogging properly and all adjustments can be made. Say your paper's cut just a slight bit off and you need to make some adjustments to the book because it's a little bit too short or it's a little bit longer than what it's supposed to be. You would go into your step functions and be able to make all those adjustments. But we will get into that in our second video. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Thank you. Goodbye.